If you're planning a cruise and want to save money even before you get on board your cruise ship, these cruise booking hacks can save you hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on your cruise. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I know a lot of people are trying to save a little bit of money on their cruises this year. The prices of cruises have increased, and we kind of need to do everything we can to save $100 here, $50 there, maybe even much more. Now, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 cruise booking hacks that I guarantee are going to save you money. Now, some of them you may have heard before, but others will be completely new. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, when possible, book your cruise on board and or book a future cruise deposit. Now, not all cruise lines are created equal on this one. Some of them have better programs than others and better savings and advantages than others. And to be honest, sometimes you may not get the lowest price. So why would you do this? Well, first of all, as long as you book with a refundable deposit, then you really have nothing to lose. But you are going to get an extra bonus of either onboard credits to use on your next cruise, or you may be able to apply them to the cruise you're on. Now, that onboard credit can really add up. It can range anywhere from about $50 as an onboard credit all the way up to $200, $300 and more per cabin. Now, something that you might find is that may not actually be the lowest price. So in that case, you could do a couple of things. Either you can still book it, and I'm going to tell you what to do next, or you can make a future cruise deposit that does allow you flexibility. Number two, book on board and then transfer that booking to an agent. Now, when you transfer your booking to an agent, and it can be an individual travel agent, it can be an online travel agency, but you're going to also benefit from any of the extra advantages that they have. So they may have a group on board, which means you're going to get an additional onboard credit. They may be running a promotion with the cruise lines. A lot of the big travel agencies that specialize in cruises do this. They're able to offer sometimes free gratuities or an upgrade in one of the packages, and you could benefit from that by switching your booking over to a travel agent. Now, something to be aware of is that you may have a limited amount of time to do this, so you can contact your travel agent when you do get off the cruise to ask about that. And by the way, if you're already dealing with a travel agent that you like and you've booked that particular cruise with them, the cruise line will usually automatically apply that booking to your travel agent, so they will continue to help you and to service that booking after your cruise. Number three, look for refer a friend promotions. Now, different cruise lines have this, and something that I've been seeing is sometimes they have this through the different travel agencies that they are working with. So that is something to look out for. Princess, for instance, has a refer a friend program, so you could take a look at that, but other cruise lines have this as well, and then you would get an additional onboard credit or an additional benefit, and your friend who is booking would get one too. Number four, check out the lowest price options. So there has been a trend over the last few years of quite a few cruise lines going towards those perks packages or all-inclusive options. Now, personally, I really like them. I see the value in them for my vacation. However, I have heard of people, as the prices of these promotions kind of have increased, I've heard of people saying they've relooked at that lowest price and they've really calculated how much do they drink? Do they need the drink package? On their particular sailing, how many days are they going to be spending in port? If they're spending those days in port, they're not going to be on the cruise ship drinking. Really, is that beverage package, that perk, as valuable for them? Also, take a look at the other perks. If it includes specialty dining, is that something important to you, or is it not that important to you? And maybe you might find that if you go with that lowest price fare, that might be the best value, even if you do add on some of the extras separately. Now, by the way, please let me know what you think about the all-inclusive perks options. Do you like them? Do you prefer the lowest fare options? Do you still think they're as good a value as they once were? Please let me know down in the comments below. Bid for cabin upgrades. Now, this one is not for everybody, but if you are not particularly picky about the cruise ship cabin that you have, consider booking the lowest category cabin that you are going to be happy with. So the lowest price in an interior cabin or the lowest price in an ocean view cabin, balcony, etc., and then bid for an upgrade for something that is better. Now, this is not for everybody, because if you end up getting a cabin in a location that you won't be happy with, well, then you're going to be very disappointed. But if you're not particular about the cabin that you're in, Why book a balcony cabin and pay the full price when you can book an interior cabin and you can bid for that balcony upgrade and maybe be able to get that for only about $200 or $250 per person, which might be significantly less than you would have paid on the overall booking if you booked that at the beginning. And by the way, I say this at least partially based on a personal experience. A few months ago, we were on a Norwegian cruise and we had booked a balcony cabin. That was absolutely fine. We knew what we wanted, but we met several people on embarkation day, the elevators and walking through this ship, who told us they were so happy. They booked interior cabins, they bid for an upgrade, not a huge amount, and they were very happy that they did get them. Now, this cruise booking tip isn't a big secret, but it is something that I think a lot of people underestimate, that it makes that big a difference. So be flexible if you can with your dates, even just a little bit. So for instance, if you wanted to cruise at the beginning of February, always take a look at the week before, the week after. If you can be flexible, even with the cruise lines, you might be able to find that a similar cruise, a similar itinerary, just by moving it 1 week forward, 1 week back, or even to a similar cruise line, or even on a ship on the same cruise line, that it can make a huge difference. It can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on that cruise. Always, always, always check for price drops. Now, I think a lot of experienced cruisers know this one already, but if you're a new cruiser, this might not be something that you think about. You want to check for price drops. Now, in particular, ideally book out as early as possible. And then from that point on, you'll want to keep checking to see if the price has dropped for the category of cabin that you are in. Now, something to keep in mind is always look not only at the price dropping, but what are the perks that you did get at the time that you booked? Are those the same perks that would be available now? If you had an onboard credit that was a promotion at the time, check to see if that same onboard credit, either more or less, is available now. Now, sometimes people ask, how do you do that? So you can do a simple check just on your cruise line website. I probably would do that before you call the cruise line or your travel agent. And you could basically make a mock booking and just check what the final price is going to be. And you also do have different websites that will allow you to set up sort of a price drop alert, so you can use those as well. Now, I haven't seen any that have been 100% reliable because they don't always take into account the different things like those promotions. But if you do have a really good one, please let me know down in the comments below. Now, I am saving the best for last, and I know it's one that even experienced cruisers don't often do. It's a new tip that I've just learned in the past few months, so I haven't really shared it very often. So that one is coming up. But the next tip is to use a travel agent. Now, I know a lot of people wonder about this. What are the perks of using a travel agent? Well, many travel agents, as long as they specialize in cruises and they do work within an agency that books a lot of cruises, they really do have access to some of the very best prices, in particular if you are booking early. Now, beyond the prices, they'll have extra offers that they could usually give you, and they are there to answer any questions that you have along the way. Okay, so this next tip actually saved me almost $1,000 on one of the cabins that I booked for an upcoming cruise. And basically what it is book a refundable deposit early on when you book your cruise if you want that flexibility. If you don't care about that and you know what you want to book, then book a non-refundable deposit. But I like to book refundable deposits, and oftentimes they are a little bit higher than a refundable booking. So do that, but as you get a little bit closer to the final payment and you know that you are going to be going on that cruise, maybe you've booked your air, you booked your insurance, so you are getting close to your final payment and the decision really has been made. At that point, check what the non-refundable rate is. You can usually switch your refundable rate to the non-refundable rate. Now, of course, just like always, you want to check that you're not losing out on any promotions that do have value, but that rate can still be a lot lower, and then you can make that switch and you can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, please let me know what are some of your favorite cruise booking tips and hacks that have worked for you. Please let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.